So a lot of restaurants have like these, even Starbucks has reduced hours. Okay, this is another thing. We're talking about Starbucks or restaurants, it's still going to apply. So this whole thing with inflation and how that impacts the everyday life of people going to eat and going to grab their Starbucks, right? Only the drive-through is open at my Starbucks right now.
It's crazy.
They can't find people to work. So let's talk about why. So again, we go back to this supply and demand. Demand is really, really high because interest rates were so low, people have money to spend, right? Well, that's putting huge pressure on the supplier. In this case, let's use Starbucks. I don't know about you, but every time I go to Starbucks, the line is out to the road.
It's insane.
Okay, there's not a better example of demand than that.
And everybody not get coffee before? Like, how have you ever since the pandemic? It's like I talk about it with my wife all the time. Like, how is it that before COVID happened, you just roll through that Starbucks, maybe like 2 or 3 minutes in line, but since the pandemic happened, that line is out to the road. Everybody's like, because COVID's here, I'm drinking coffee.
No, it's not that.
You think it's the money?
Yes, it's what we're talking about.
Okay, all right.
Because the Fed, which we're going to talk about that in our next segment, the Fed made it so easy to get money. The government made it so easy to get money. So people have more money now than they did before, and now they're going to spend it. So rather than make coffee at home, we've got this money burning a hole in our pocket. I'm going to go get the Starbucks. That's the reason. Okay.
I just thought everybody wanted to have more coffee.
so now the lines are out to the road at every Starbucks across North America.
For sure.
And Starbucks like, okay, we don't have enough supply for you. And because people were off work for so long, they have to now. They have this whole issue with finding good people to come and work, right?
Well, a lot of that with finding people to come work for you, and something that's left out a lot in the inflation conversation is that wage growth. Like wage growth
let's talk about it.
Is at an all-time high. So wages are really growing, right? So now,
because let me just interrupt you for a second. The reason why wage growth is what it is because you had a lot of people not at work, so now you have to incentivize the people to come back to work. So you have to pay them more, which is causing prices to yet again go up.
Absolutely. And there's mandates too on how much minimum wage can be.
That's right.
And again, and I think a lot of, just looking at the psychology of it, I think people during the pandemic and when they were off work and they couldn't work realized like, hey, I wasn't happy doing that. You know, maybe these jobs, I mean, I look at a barista at Starbucks and I'm like, whew, I could never, you know.
I would love it.
All that going, they got stickers in their hands and they're wiping off. I know, but they're wiping off.
You and I work in a Starbucks, dude, we would tear shit up.
No, we wouldn't. The line would be 12 miles long. We would not know it's in. I always thought it'd be funny if I worked at Starbucks. Like somebody's like, I want a double chai soy. I would just literally go back there and just make them whatever I thought. Like, I don't know. What do you mean? You got the wrong one.
We would get trained up.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think we could. I think it's a lot harder job. I think they're wildly underpaid.
Well, but not again, anymore. They're getting paid more.
I know. I'm just saying. I think that a lot of people though have. I think people's like self-worth has changed, and there's like I know people too that have gone from working one job before COVID, left that job, and come out of COVID making like $20,000 a year more in the same type of administrative role. I mean, there's companies out there paying big dollars for people right now, and again, it comes from. It comes from people having the money to spend.
It comes from
the
demand.
People, there's demand out there. So now it also puts employees in a position with leverage instead of employers. So now they're shopping these employers.
Big time.
Which is, again, it all comes back to the consumer and the people that are paying for these things.
Yeah, you know? to kind of put a bow on this segment before we talk about the Fed meeting and what they're going to do about this entire thing that we're talking about, is again, you rewind the clocks, COVID hits, people go home from work, everybody's shutting down, the US economy like pushes pause, right? So everybody goes home, everyone's getting money, and the Fed is forced to lower interest rates to get people back out there to start spending money, but people didn't want to go back to work, and so as that demand rose again, employers were like, shit, dude, we don't have anybody to work, like we're gonna have to pay more. And now, to your point, the employee has a lot of leverage that they didn't have before.